Oh my gosh, we are so finished.
Another absolute shit show from Graham Potter.
When your captain heads for the hoardings to confront a fan, you know a club is in a bad, toxic and dark place.
We're really at a low right now.
I just think we are in absolute dire straits.
Jared Bowen, the most composed of them all, even he lost his cool at Molineux.
Obviously someone said something, he's gone mental.
So just imagine how we feel at home watching this unfold.
This club is finished, mate.
There's no positives. There are no positives. There's no hope.
3 defeats already, 11 conceded, and the whole thing feels toxic. We are arguing in the stands while on the pitch we are scrambling for answers.
It's just been really depressing just to be a fan of this club for a really long while now.
The goalkeeper carousel sums it up.
Against Hermansen, 11 shots on goal, 8 of them have gone in. He's conceded 8 in 3 games. But Areola today was no better, was he? He was awful. We're fucked. We're linked with Anana.
Hermansen thrown straight in and struggling. Areola back in for the cup, and we still ship 3. Onana chatter? Noise. John Victor is the real story.
Apparently we have made contact with Botafogo to see if we can get John Victor on loan with an option to buy.
That is where West Ham are right now. But just as things look dead and buried, there is hope.
Matheus Fernandes has today left Southampton to join West Ham United.
And that's not all, as even more hope comes in the name of
Sango to Magassa. Here we go. West Ham finally signed a midfielder.
And there could even be more. But then, well, there's that fear we're all dreading. Lucas Paqueta, 50-50 chance of him staying apparently.
You're going to sell Paqueta? Are you f***ing mental?
Spurs are calling. Sell him and you rip out the last bit of sparkle we have left. While that brews, the rumour mill is spinning like mad.
The Raheem Sterling rumour.
A few days left till deadline day. Season on a knife edge. This is Hammer Bites, and in this video we are cutting through the noise to what is real, what is reckless, and what the hell is actually happening. So let's first start with the recent drama, where it all boiled over at Molineux after a game West Ham should never have lost. Leading the game with just minutes to go, then collapsing to Jorgen Strand Larsen's late double. After the game, Jared Bowen walked over to applaud the travelling support. Instead of applause back, words were exchanged. Bowen snapped. He stormed toward the stands, only to be dragged away by Thomas Souček and stewards. He ripped off his armband before heading down the tunnel, head spinning. Within 45 minutes, Bowen was back on Instagram posting an apology. Apologies to the fans for tonight's reaction. I'm someone who is passionate and will fight every time I step on the pitch, but I need to set a better example, and you fans know how much I love you and this club. We ride through the bad times together, and I'll see you on Sunday. Fans on X had plenty to say. Some couldn't believe anyone would target Bowen in the first place. He's the last player who should be apologizing. If everyone worked as hard as him, we wouldn't be in this mess. Another wrote, abusing Bowen is pathetic. He's dragged us out of hell and given us nights we'll never forget. Others had a more logical outlook on it.
And when I heard that he, potentially tried to jump the hoardings last night to get a fan, I was really worried. And then when I seen the video, I'm not going to lie, I was relieved. Because I thought he wasn't actually trying to jump the board.
No.
If he wanted to jump the board and get to the fan, he could have done.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you know what? I wanted to see a spark from him, Gio.
Yeah,
We're all standing here going, he's doing nothing. Well, last night we saw a bit of life come about.
It's a little bit of the invisible wall thing. When you see these two groups of fans on the street go, oh, come on then. And you're like, oh, the invisible wall's doing its job. There was a little bit of that from Bowen. I think he was just doing a bit of a show. If he really
Even Graham Potter tried to calm it down.
He's obviously hurting because giving everything in the game, he's the captain, he cares a lot about the club, cares a lot about the team. You can see the players are working hard, you can see the players are giving everything. I thought today there was no lack of effort at all from the boys, and it is what it is. It's just an exchange of views. Obviously our supporters, of course, are hurting as well, and they obviously care about the club and they want us to win, so it's a pretty normal reaction really.
But that's the point. When even Bowen, the captain, the one who still runs, still fights, still delivers, is pushed to the brink, it shows how toxic things have become. West Ham's season is 3 games old and already we're arguing in the stands. And while the vibes turn darker by the week, the club have tried to lift spirits with 2 new midfield signings. Let's start with Magassa first, who, to my surprise, was announced after Fernandes. It looks like a rare win in a window defined by chaos.
We've signed someone that is exactly the type of player that we need in there.
Sungutu Magassa, 21 years old, France under-21 international, 31 games for Monaco last season.
I think if you'd handed me this
player or links to this player like 2 years ago, I've said that's really exciting. He's one of the most sought after prospects.
The deal is worth around £17 million, 6-year contract agreed, and his medical already completed.
Everything about this is positive for me. A physical player in the midfield, primarily a defensive midfielder, can play centre-back, but we want him in that midfield.
Eintracht Frankfurt even tried to hijack the move at the last minute, but Magassa stood firm.
He will give you work rate, he will give you that bit of tenacity and power as well.
He is seen as the holding number 6 in Potter's rebuild.
Look, what we're not going to get with Magassa is goals. Obviously, he's a defensive midfielder, but what we will get is the energy and physicality in the midfield.
He is incredibly physically imposing.
That is a positive. Hopefully this will be a turning point in our season and we'll start to see a bit of an upturn now.
And right alongside him comes Mateus Fernandes. After weeks of low-ball bids, West Ham finally agreed terms with Southampton. £38 million plus 3 in add-ons and a 15% sell-on clause included. Southampton originally demanded $50 million and rejected 2 earlier offers, but West Ham held firm and got the deal over the line.
He's not going to come to you guys. You want 50 or 60 million. Sorry, mate. I can't even down there, mate.
Fernandes is a massive signing for West Ham. Let's get it right. I think he's a fabulous player. I think he's shown last season for Southampton what a quality player he is.
With Magassa now confirmed and Fernandes joining too, the outlook of our season is looking a lot better.
Quality little player, right? I said it ages ago, and I said it on E20, and I've said it on Spaces. Listen, right, sometimes you just got to overpay to get the player out of there, and West Ham have had to overpay a little bit to get the player out of there. Is he worth £40 million, right? Probably not, but it's what he can bring to West Ham right now. West Ham need a sort of player like him who can get around the pitch, good on the ball, good in both boxes, can take the ball under pressure and spray passes left to right. Listen, at the end of the day, right, we need help in the middle of the park, and he's going to help our situation. Having Magassa, I will get his name right, Paqueta and Fernandes in a 3-man midfield, now you're talking my language.
And that's exactly my kind of language too, mate. Between them, Magassa and Fernandes give Potter exactly what he's been crying out for, a defensive shield and a creative number 8 who can actually carry the ball forward. 2 midfielders in, and it feels like the spine of this team is finally getting reinforced. But let's be honest, even 2 players alone cannot solve this mess. And that is why, while they arrive, the goalkeeper position has become the next fire West Ham are scrambling to put out. Mads Hermansen came in from Leicester, no pre-season bedding in, straight into the deep end. 8 goals conceded in his first 2 league games, he was dropped for the cup, and Alphonse Areola stepped in. To be fair, it's harsh to criticise him too much. Some of those efforts were difficult saves regardless, but his parries fell straight into danger and Wolves punished us. Either way, it's been clear from the start that Potter doesn't really fancy Areola. His ability to play out from the back and his distribution have always been question marks, and that's not what Potter wants. But with Hermansen's struggles, the chaos has forced West Ham back to the market, and that's why our interest in John Victor has resurfaced. Crazily enough, even headlines about Andre Onana being unhappy at Manchester United and West Ham swooping started to come about. In reality, fake noise, Graham Bailey pushing it, Fabrizio Romano shutting it down in hours, no talks, no chance, just agents stirring the pot. That's what I think, but then on a deeper level, there could be some hint of truth to it, who knows really. But the John Victor story is different. This is the keeper who was literally at Rio Airport weeks ago, waiting for a flight to London when West Ham pulled out. His camp called our behaviour disgraceful. And the situation literally reflects the current state of things. This clip here from Hammer's chat explains it perfectly.
West Ham are back in for John Victor. We want him on loan with an obligation to buy if certain clauses are met, but the obligation is 25 appearances. So if John comes over on loan and makes 25 appearances, we have to sign him, and the price tag was 6 million. Apparently, Botafogo weren't happy with the 6 million. That is what we were going to be buying him for, and they're saying no, it's going to be more than that probably because of the inconvenience and the way you've treated us and him so far. You're going to pay for it. But there is also some reports that they haven't even replied to West Ham. And I would suggest that that's exactly what we deserve.
That's exactly right, it is exactly what we deserve. And now here we are, a club that started the season with 2 first-choice keepers, but the one we brought in is pretty crap, the one we dropped wants to leave, and the one we was gonna get won't even deal with us anymore. Recruitment looks confused, desperate, and reactive. And that theme continues when you turn to Lucas Paqueta and his current situation. Right now, it's 50-50 whether he stays or goes. That's not fan gossip, that's coming from ex-West Ham employee and Claret and Hugh. Fabrizio Romano also gave us this sad update on the situation.
Tottenham had new contacts today with the agents of Lucas Paquetá, and Paquetá is an option being considered at Tottenham for the number 10 position.
Now Spurs are out of it because they're signing Xavi. Incredible signing, isn't it? But Spurs ain't going to get him then. But Aston Villa are the latest club to have been linked to him.
West Ham's stance? They want at least £60 million. David Sullivan even admitted, it's possible, but we'd have to sign a lot of players before we sold him. That alone tells you the board are considering it.
If Sullivan had his way, he'd cash in on Paqueta.
The problem is obvious. Paqueta is the last creative spark we have left. Yes, Mateus Fernandes will help us somewhat, but he can't do what Paqueta can do on the ball, right? I know he's not been great, but we have to give him the benefit of the doubt having dealt with all the FA stuff. With that gone, we might have a whole new Brazilian Magnifico on our hands. He's the only genuine number 10 in the squad. Take him out, and the midfield goes from flat to non-existent. Bowen's already struggling for service with Paqueta in the side. Remove him, and it's hard to see where the chances come from. And it's not just footballing logic. Selling him would undermine Graham Potter even further. Reports suggest Potter doesn't want him sold, but the board may ignore that. For a manager with just 5 wins from 22 games already on the brink, losing Paqueta could be the final straw. Fans know it too. The Kudu sale to Spurs hurt enough. To see Paqueta follow him across London would feel like the club waving the white flag. And Spurs might be out, but if it does happen, it'll be riots. Paqueta is even open to a move. West Ham attempted, and the board need funds. Right now, it's genuinely 50-50 whether he's still a West Ham player by the end of the window. Now, moving on, it feels like every single day West Ham are linked with another player, and the names are all over the place. Some are genuine, some are laughable, and together they only add to the feeling of chaos. Let's start with Raheem Sterling. Sky Sports say West Ham are one of 3 London clubs along with Crystal Palace and Fulham that are keeping an eye on the player. But at 30 years old, out of favour at Chelsea, it feels more like a panic headline than a proper plan. I would have called this BS, but Sky themselves reported this.
I think at the moment they've got it wrong with Raheem Sterling. I think at the moment, whilst Potter's in charge, I don't think he comes in.
Then there is Jamie Vardy.
Just when you thought West Ham's striker saga couldn't get any older, enter Jamie Vardy.
38-year-old Jamie Vardy, free agent after leaving Leicester. The Sun pushed the story that West Ham are tracking him. But come on, we have just brought in Callum Wilson.
If you'd have said to me Vardy or Wilson, I probably would have taken Vardy.
But let's all just hold our horses because it was the Sun who reported it, so it must be nonsense. But there is another name which actually makes sense. We're hearing that the midfield rebuild might not even stop at Magassa and Fernandes.
Right then, in terms of Timber, apparently we're still interested. Even if we get Magassa and Fernandes, we still want Timber, a Feyenoord.
Talks are ongoing with Feyenoord for Quinten Timber, the energetic box-to-box midfielder Potter also wants.
Fantastic footballer, fragile. When fit, excellent, but a bit injury prone. If it wasn't for that, he'd be a top player.
Bayer Leverkusen are circling too, but if West Ham get this one done, it would make it 3 midfield signings in one window. Now, if I was to go through every single rumour in the West Ham world, this would turn into an hour-long video. So let me just give you a quick breakdown of some of the other names doing the rounds. Hayden Hackney is one. The Middlesbrough midfielder has told his club he'd be open to a Premier League move before the deadline, and West Ham are one of the sides showing interest. At 23 years old, he brings energy, progressive passing, and that drive through midfield we are badly missing. Then you've got Alex Garcia at Leverkusen, who's been mentioned, though no bid has gone in. Ibrahim Sangar at Nottingham Forest has been offered on loan. Yves Bissouma has been linked, but looks set to join Galatasaray. Together, all of this paints the same picture. Some deals are real, some are just agent talk, but it is scattergun, and scattergun recruitment has been West Ham's trademark for too long. Step back for a moment and look at where we are. 3 games, 3 defeats, 11 goals conceded. Sunderland, Chelsea, Wolves. Graham Potter with only 5 wins from 22 matches since taking over. Yes, Matheus Fernandes and Sungutu Magassa help with the outlook of things, but even with those additions, the squad still feels gutted of leaders, thin in every department. The club losing stars like Kudus, possibly Paqueta, and replacing them with short-term panic targets. The Bowen clash summed it up. Players and fans at breaking point. Magassa is a good signing. Getting Fernandes in is a relief. Hackney would be a smart one, but 1 or 2 players cannot fix this atmosphere. Right now, the mood around West Ham is toxic, unstable, and without direction, and the fixtures do not get any kinder. Nottingham Forest away is next, followed by Tottenham, Crystal Palace, Everton, and Arsenal. If results do not turn quickly, it could be season over before it has even really started. So that's where we are. Bowen clashing with fans, 2 new signings, keepers in chaos, Paqueta possibly gone, and rumours flying from Sterling to Vardy to Hackney. It feels like West Ham are stumbling from story to story instead of building a plan. Now, if you made it this far into this video, then thank you so much, and please drop a like on this video. A lot of effort went into this one, so it would be massively appreciated. Let me know your thoughts on the whole current situation as well. One last thing, make sure you are subscribed, and I will see you in the next one.